In this video, I will show you my ultimate ATEM Mini Extreme setup, which we built and constructed in the first video of this video series. However, this time around, it's actually switched on. And that means that I can provide you a proper demo. That's exactly what you're going to see in this video. Now, one side note is that it took the whole desk to show the whole setup. That meant that I actually needed to use my phone to create the video. So that is what you will see in a minute. But at the very end of this video, I will also walk you through a graph of the setup to help you to understand what you saw. So I would advise you to stick around for that also. Are you ready? Let's get started. Over on my phone, this is my ultimate extreme setup for mid-sized streams. And I actually can also use it for large streams or extra large streams, where the large streams are basically changing the inputs from HDMI to SDI, and the extra large also adds audio, for example, and comms and that kind of stuff. So those are the differences. But this, what you see right here, is the basis of all of my mid-sized and up setups. Now, what do you see here? You see the ATEM Mini, you see two Skyroy devices. That's the Skyroy QuickPad, that's the Ptz Wiz from Skyroy. These two devices are running via PoE, but no computer is needed. That one, that's a Stream Deck, and that is where you do need a computer, which is right there. And of course, we have the multi-view with, in this case, 4 cameras, but typically I use 5 or 6 cameras for my productions. I am actually using this really cool power over Ethernet device, and here you have also the web presenter that I will also use to stream to the internet. However, for now, I'm just leaving it as is and focusing on this product right here. Now, let's talk about this one right here, the Ptz cameras, because I have 2 Ptz cameras right here. And of course, you want to be able to modify them. So how do you do that? Well, first and foremost, let's talk about, for example, camera 1. Let's click that one there. So now camera 1 is active, and I can actually push down on this button. So these are actually 4 buttons in one, like a joystick, and I can actually select presets right here. So camera 1, if I press 2 or 1, I mean, then there you go. That's number 1, that's number 2, and that's number 3 right there. So that is really cool that I can actually do that from the system itself. Let's do it one more time. That's 2, that's 1, and that is 2 right there. And that is a possibility that you have right there. I also can do that for camera 2, which is right there. So let's change to this position again, change it to 2, go to the presets. But now I actually don't want to use a preset. I want to do some modifications. I don't really like what I see right here. Let me show you a little bit in a bigger setup. So this is what it does right now. So it doesn't really look that great. So let's change it by moving the camera a little bit like so, maybe a little bit down, maybe like this. I like it like there. And then maybe zoom in a little bit like so. So I'm pressing and holding that. And yeah, I like it. Perfect. Perfect. No, nothing to do. Perfect. So that is the way that I can use this device right here. And I can also change some other camera settings, which I will not go into too much depth at the moment, but it is possible anyway. Moving on to this device right here. And why do I think that this device is so important? Well, actually, because even though the ATEM Mini has a plethora of buttons, not all of the functionalities are available on the device itself. So this one will help me to do that. But there's one setting which is out of the box, which you can do on the device itself, but I will show you that it actually works. So changing that right now, like so, and also going to, for example, the multi-view again, like there. So there you go. So now it's back. So that is a possibility that you have right here, but you can also do that for the second output, which I am not using at the moment, but I can also change that. And that is something that I cannot do on the device itself. So that is really cool, and it's really nicely to see that. And I can actually go to other inputs as well. So this is actually showing the program, which is indeed what I want. So that's cool. And I can now go to something else, like for example, the key. So this is where I can set up additional keys that I cannot do on the device itself. A lot is possible. For example, I can press this one right here, like so, and I can have that well, 2 picture-in-pictures. However, I cannot do that without checking it in a preview. Now, with this device, I can actually click on this button right here, and it then shows it on preview, which is great. Now let's go a little bit further. These are media files, and even though the names are roughly the same, but this one is TC background, this is background, and background with something else behind it. So if I press that, you will see the background changing. So I'm just literally changing this like so, which is really handy. And of course, I can also switch to Media Player 2 and use that right there. So that is also possible right here with the same button. Macros is also possible. However, I do have only one macro, which is called Demo. And basically it's not doing a lot, but here you go. It's now doing something. And after a few seconds, it will automatically go to camera 2. So that is really, really cool indeed. Going back to camera 1. All right. So that is this device right here. That is showing me the end result. This screen is showing me the end result, but it also allows me to verify if I have audio, and I can actually even record on this device. But I, of course, also have here an additional recording, which you cannot see, but there is a there's a recorder there as well. Now, why do I do this? Well, I want to be able to add additional graphics, for example, lower thirds. So let's remove this right now and show you what it looks like. So here you don't see the lower third, but here you will see once I press this button right here. Boom. So there you go. Another name. And if I press this button right there, it's gone. So that's great. But what I can also do is that if I press, for example, the cut button here, it will automatically play my leader, like so. And of course, it has audio, showing it like so. There you go. And once it's done, it will automatically go back to whatever I have switched on here. So let's go to camera 4, like so, and we'll automatically go to camera 4. There you go, camera 4. That's really awesome. There you have it. So that is also possible with this Stream Deck right here. And with that Stream Deck, I can actually also change additional settings. I can also, for example, look into my software, go to different pages to see what's going on. So that is really a very nice way of doing that. So that concludes my setup of the Ultimate Extreme setup for mid-sized setups. I will show you later this summer my large setup, so including the 6U unit, and I will also be able to show you how this web presenter is working in this. By the way, this web presenter is not, well, it is today, but this web presenter is bought so that it will not be on the same network than the rest of this gear, because I want to make sure that this gear is stable and not hindered by other, well, things. So that concludes the setup. Let's go back to the studio. You just saw a full-on demo of the Ultimate ATEM Mini Extreme setup. Okay, it's my setup, of course, but I am really interested to know what you think about it. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? What are the alternatives? Maybe you have alternatives. If you have any questions, please ask them, because I really would like to have that engagement going on. I really like the community, so that's the reason why I'm asking you that. But also, If you have any questions and comments, I will be collecting them and using them for the next live stream. Which reminds me, if you want to be part of that live stream, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified if new videos are arising. That is, that if you also like this kind of content, then of course you need to do that, because if you subscribe to this channel, you really help this community. Thank you so much. Before we leave, I promised you one more thing, and that is that I would be talking to you about the same setup, but then as part of a graph. So let's do that before we leave. Okay, I'm here in h2gear.com, and this is where I actually have successfully created or recreated, so to speak, my setup. It all starts, of course, with the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, and as you could have seen, is that I had two Ptz cameras and two additional cameras, which I will not be discussing today. And these two Ptz cameras actually got their PoE, or power over Ethernet, via the router. And that also was for both the QuickPad by Scarroy and the Ptz Wiz also by Scarroy. And of course, also the ATEM Mini Extreme was also connected to that same router. Now, what is important to note is that that router only is for the local gear, not for the internet. That's why you also see here the WAN in the yellow part for the Web Presenter HD. So the Web Presenter HD is the sole product that is actually connected to the internet. And that is really great because it uses the SDI interface. It is very, very safe. What I also do is that from the ATEM Mini Extreme, I actually sent the program out to vMix or to a other streaming server product, and there you will be able to add, for example, animations or lower thirds or something else, or maybe music. And then I will also put the output from the HDMI, so the second screen, to the HDMI port of my Video Assist by Blackmagic. And this is actually the program out of the vMix PC, which also includes the visuals. And from there on, so this is the real program, and that goes to the Web Presenter right there. And the second monitor that you saw, of course, was the multi-view. So there you have it, my ultimate ATEM Mini Extreme setup. And of course, you can also change the Extreme ISO to a normal ATEM Mini Pro or ATEM Mini Pro ISO. That is the video. I hope that you liked it. Of course, the next time we will come back with a third video in this setup, but then we will be talking about the large setup, which includes not only HDMI, but also SDI cables. See you around. See you next time. Bye bye.